Hi everyone, I hope you all are doing well. And tonight I'm here to start with the reading series. So from this day on, we are going to take up each question type of reading one by one. For tonight, we have true, false, not given, or yes, no, not given. Okay? So without wasting any time, let's begin. Now, when it comes to true, false, not given, and yes, no, not given, guys, there are certain things that you have to keep in mind. Now, I call this method as the car method. So, the car method is going to be one method that I would like you all to remember for each reading question type. Okay? So, it says code, approach, and remember. So, there will be certain code through which you can solve the question. There will be approach which you have to keep in mind and go accordingly. So these are nothing but the steps. The approach will be the steps. Remember means the points that you have to keep in mind while solving any kind of reading question. Thus, CAR, that is the CAR method. So when it comes to the true, false, yes, no, not given questions, these are certain things that you have to keep in mind. Number one, please remember that these answers will come in order. So say if you have to find answer for question number 3, that means you have to look after the information of question number 2 and before the information of question number 4. Okay? So look somewhere between 2 and 4. Don't begin again right from the start. Keep that in mind. It will save you a lot of time. Then, please understand, in your questions, you will be given true, false, not given only if the passage is factual in nature. That means if it is dealing with some facts. If it is yes, no, not given in the question, that means your passage is from the perspective of somebody, from the perspective of a writer. So it will be opinionated passage. Some opinion is there. Okay, so always understand what you have to write. Don't mix this, otherwise no matter how correct you go with the strategy, you will not receive the marks. Please don't switch these things. Please be careful and see whether true, false, not given is something that you have to write in the answer sheet or yes, no, not given. Okay, remember this factual and opinion thing. So answers come in order, remember that. Now let's go to the code. How do you really break this question type? Very easy. Guys, if you just remember this, you will never go wrong. Okay, so let's see how and when would you mark true or yes. So for true and yes, you have to remember that the information would be present. So whatever information is there in the question, it will be present in the passage. Okay? But how will it be present? Is it in the same way or different? So the answer is, if it is true or yes, the same information will be present. So the information in the question matches with the one in passage. Now remember, it might not have the same words. It might be paraphrased, written in some other way. But the same information will be present and of course it's going to match. Next, false and no. In this case also, the information will be present, guys. Please understand that. But what kind of information? Opposite information. Now suppose, if the question says tiger is a ferocious animal and your passage talks about tiger is not a ferocious animal, that means it contradicts each other. That means the information present in the question and the one present in the passage is opposite in nature. Getting my point? So please understand, is or is not. That is what I mean by contradicting and opposite. But suppose if the information is present, tiger is a ferocious animal, and in the passage it says tiger is a royal animal. That means we don't have any information about tiger being the ferocious animal. We have to look for that same information. If it is not there, we don't care whether tiger is a royal animal or not, because we are looking for whether it is ferocious or not. In that case, when ferocious is not there, that means the information is totally absent. As I said, we don't care whether it is royal or not. Ferocious is absent, that means the information is absent. In that case, you will mark not given. Okay? Please keep these things in mind. True or yes will have the information matching with the one in the passage. False and no will have the information but of a contradictory nature or opposite in nature. Not given means information is not at all present, it is totally absent. If you remember this code, you can never go wrong, guys. What can be your approach? So, what is the methodology? First, please remember that you don't have to read the passage. Always read the questions first. Make this thing concrete in your head. Okay? We are not reading the passage, we are only reading the questions. And while we read the questions, we have to mark the keywords. Now, these are the keywords that you need to locate in the passage. But for this, you have to remember that not every single time the same keywords, the same words will be found in the passage. You have to look for synonyms, that means word with similar meaning, or paraphrase version, words or the entire sentence or phrases written in some other form, in some other way, without losing the original meaning. So it is just written in some other words, that's it. Okay? So the question information and the passage information either should match or should be opposite in nature. If it is absent, that means not given. So if you just remember this code approach method, you can never go wrong. Okay? So let's begin and see how does it work. Now look guys, we come to the reading 1. Now something like this would be your passage. Here will be your question. Now let's read the question. Do the following statements reflect the claims of the writer? See, claims of the writer. That means this entire passage is opinionated. It has perspective of a writer behind it. In this case, you have to mark yes, no, not given, and not true, false. Okay, because this is not factual in nature. Now let's come to the questions, guys. Rules and regulations are examples of parameters. Now see guys, we are not at all reading the passage. We are directly reading the questions and marking the keywords. Rules and regulations are examples of parameters. So rules and regulations can be our keywords. Examples can be our keywords. Parameters can also be the keyword. Now, what are the keywords? Any kind of words which seem to be helpful in order to reach closer to the answer. For example, if you find any kind of proper noun, some name of a person, of a place, some number, some figure, okay, always mark them as your keywords. Similarly, words which you might find important, as I said, in order to come closer to the answer. In this case, rules and regulations. So you know, okay, we are talking about rules and regulations. Fine, this is the main noun. So let's find this out. This is our keyword for sure. Okay? So rules and regulations, examples, and you can take parameters, but you can avoid that too. Second, the truly creative mind is associated with the need for free speech and a free society. So what is associated? Truly creative mind. That is our main point, so keyword. With the need for what? Need for free speech and free society. Mark it. Third, one problem with creativity. So we actually have to look for the problem. So problem is a keyword. Problem with what? Creativity. Keyword. Is that people think it is impossible. So what do people think? It is impossible. Keyword. Fourth, the act of creation is linked to madness. What is linked? Act of creation. Linked to what? Madness. Keyword. Other words like associated, parameters, linked. Please remember that these will surely be paraphrased in the passage, written in some other form. So have that open mindset. So let's try to solve the first one. Rules and regulations are examples of parameters. Let's look for the rules and regulations. The truly creative mind is often seen as totally free and unfettered, but a better image is of a mind which can be free. Oh, recognize that rules and regulations. Look here, guys. Rules and regulations. So we did find our keyword. Are parameters. It directly says that rules and regulations are parameters. Whereas in the question it says rules and regulations are examples of parameters which mean one and the same thing. That means this A1 is absolutely true. Why? Because if you remember the code, first the information about the rules and regulation is present. Then, is it the opposite one that is present? No, it is exactly the same. So it matches with the information in the passage. Our parameters are examples of parameters. Same. That means A1 is true. Second, the truly creative mind is associated with the need for free speech and a free society. So let's see the truly creative mind, which is the first line. Now, guys, understand. We remember that the true false answers do come in order. If that is true, this B thing cannot be the right one. Why? Because then it will be incorrect. Because the truly creative mind, that means we are dealing with something which comes before the A point, right? The truly creative mind is here, whereas the rules and regulations was here. So it is breaking the rule. That means there is something fishy about it. So let's go ahead and see what really is fishy. The truly creative mind is associated with the need, okay, for free speech and free society. It is often seen as totally free and unfettered. Well, this sentence is actually talking about the truly creative mind being free and unfettered. It is not associated with any free speech or free society. That's not even there. That means it is not given. Okay? Because there is nothing at all about the society and the speech. No information present in the passage. So this is not given, and that was the reason it sounded fishy to me. Okay? Now since it is not given, it is not breaking the rule. Let's come down to the C1. One problem. So problem. What can be problem paraphrased as? Problem. That means something is difficult with it. So difficulty, it can be there. With creativity. Okay. So difficulty or problem or creativity. People think it is impossible. Okay, not possible. Fine. Let's go ahead and try this. So we know that we have to start reading after this parameter thing. So let's start. An example of how the human mind can be trained to be creative might help here. Okay. One strategy. Where is my problem? Oh, in solving a problem. But is the creativity there? No. Let's find the word creativity with problem. Difficulty in this exercise with the creation. All right. Something like creativity. Oh, difficulty. Let's read this. Unfortunately, the difficulty in this exercise and with creation itself, that means difficulty with creativity, is convincing people that creation is possible. Oh, yes. C1, it is paraphrased. One difficulty with creativity is that people think it is impossible. That means convincing people that creation is possible. It is difficult to convince people that creation is possible. That means it's a problem with creativity. People think it is impossible, and that is the reason you are convincing them. Getting my point? So yes, this is true because it is written in some other way, a paraphrased version, but the same information is present, guys. So this is true. Let's come down to the D1. The act of creation is linked to madness. Let's see some act of creation or creative activity and madness. And yes, of course, we remember we have to read after this portion. So we have to read from there is something like that, right? There is also an element of fear involved. However, subliminal, as deviating from the safety of one's thought patterns is very much akin to madness. Oh, we have found madness. And wait a minute. Deviating from the safety of one's thought patterns is very much akin, that means linked, paraphrased. Okay, and we are talking still about the creation if you remember. The first thing, remember the C portion, creation itself, the difficulty. Okay, so still on the creation. So yes, active creation is there. It is linked to madness. Very much akin to madness. Deviating from the safety of one's thought patterns is nothing but madness. Okay? So yes, even D1 is true, guys. So just understand, the information is present and is present in the same way. It can be paraphrased, written in some other words, but it has the same meaning. True or yes. If the information is present but present in the opposite way or contradictory in nature, false or no. But if the information like the B1 is not at all present, there is no mention about speech and society, that means it is not given at all. Also, just remember one more point. In the case of B, if you see, the truly creative mind was present here in the passage, right? So you might feel that, ma'am, half information is there. Yes, guys. If only the partial information is present, then also you will only write not given. So don't get confused between false and not given. False means that the information is present and is opposite in nature. Remember, ferocious, not ferocious. But not given means not at all present. Ferocious, royal. Okay, they're not matching at all. No information is present. So this is how we deal with the questions. Let's move ahead and try one more. Reading 2, guys. So this is a much bigger passage, but we will first go to the questions. See, in this case, you have true, false, not given. Immediately you get to know that, oh, the passage is factual in nature and not opinionated. Okay, let's come to the first question. It is believed that sanguine people do not like variety. As I said, proper nouns. What kind of people? What people? Sanguine people. Proper noun. Underline it. Do not like variety. What do they do not like? Variety. Okay, and do they like? No, do not. So not becomes important. Not like variety. Now think about the paraphrase versions or the synonyms for variety, guys. Variety can be changes, right? So keep that in mind. Now let's go back to the passage. The sanguine person, so we have found the sanguine person, the first keyword, would be the expressive or spirited style of communication. These people speak in pictures. Okay, they invest a lot of emotions and energy in their communication. Okay, they speak in pictures. That means they love variety because pictures cannot be same. Expressive, so expressions have to be different. Definitely not same. Changes is there. Invest a lot of emotions, which again is not same. Okay, putting their whole body into it. Definitely variety. Let's move ahead. Trying to make, because of their enthusiasm, great team motivators. Okay. Concern about people and relationships, so definitely in favor of changes. Right? These people find conflict or differences of opinion invigorating and love to engage. Oh my god, they find conflict and differences invigorating and love to engage in a spirited discussion. They love change. So definitely they are in favor of that variety thing. Whereas the question said they do not like variety. So the information about the sanguine people and about the love for variety is present. But in the question it said, do not like variety. The passage says they love change. That means the information is present but opposite in nature, which makes A false. Now let's move to the B1. Melancholic and phlegmatic people have similar characteristics. So what kind of people? Melancholic and phlegmatic. Underline that. What do they have in common? Similar characteristics. So we have to see these keywords, try to find. We have to be open with the paraphrase information. Let's go back to the passage. Okay. And of course we remember they come in order. So let's forget about the first paragraph and straight away come to the second one. Tile melancholic. Oh, we got the first word. Tile melancholic person who is soft-hearted and oriented. Just glance quickly through the paragraph. Come on, don't read the entire thing. Try to find the second keyword, phlegmatic, guys. It's here. Phlegmatic people. Melancholic person. Yes, we got the two. Now we have similar characteristics. The third one. So let's see, similar. That means they are like each other. Now, if you glance through the paragraph carefully, you will understand something. Melancholic person is getting defined or described till this point. But now it says like phlegmatic people. So remember, they believe that change threatens the status quo and tends to make people feel uneasy. So people with so people with this, that means we are still on the melancholic person. The same description about them. Like phlegmatic people need time to consider the changes in order to adapt to them. So like phlegmatic people, that means they have things in common. Like is telling you that common similar thing. Okay? That means the question that they have similar characteristics is actually true because information is present, number one, and number two, it is present in the same way. Now let's have a look at the third one. Managers often select their best employees according to personality types. So managers, what do? They select. Who do they select? Best employees according to what? Personality types. These are my keywords. So let's first find the first keyword, managers. Let's go back. Managers. Of course, we know we have to move ahead. We are on the third paragraph now. Well-functioning team, managers. Oh, I cannot see any manager here at all. Oh, not even the paraphrase version? No, not at all. That means no manager is there, no synonym of manager is there. That means the information regarding any kind of manager is not at all present. It is totally absent from the passage and thus my C1 becomes not given. Okay? Now we have the fourth one. It is possible for someone to change a type of personality. Okay, so what is it? Is it possible or not possible? Possible. Possible to do what? To change a type of personality. Okay, let's go back. Possible, impossible, something like that. We all have aspects of each style within us. Some of us can easily move from one style, personality type, right? Change a type of personality. Look at that. So from one style to another and adapt our style to the needs of the situation at hand. This is definitely some kind of change. That means we can easily move. So we can actually change the type of personality we have. It is possible for someone. Okay, so this information is true because it is present in the passage. Look at that. Some of us can easily move from one style to another. So you can have that transition, that change of the personality type. Okay, so this is true. Now the E1. Now guys, I am leaving you with the E1. Please write in the comment box whatever you feel is the answer for the E1. Is it true, false, or not given? For you, I'm reading out the question. Work surrounding can affect which communication style is the most effective. Work surrounding. So try to think about paraphrase versions or synonyms. Affect can have an impact, it can have an effect. All of those can be your paraphrase or synonyms. Which communication style? So style to communicate, style of communication, something like that can be paraphrased. So think about work surrounding and try to locate in this passage. Okay, you can go over the video once again and try to locate all the things for question number E. Try to think and try to work in the same way. But remember, it will come in order. So don't start right from here. Start from the point you left. So somewhere after this. Then remember, code an approach. That means, is the information present? If it is present, is it present in the same way, with the same meaning, or with an opposite meaning? Or is it present at all or not? If it is totally absent, it will be not given. With this, guys, I'm leaving you with the question number E. I want the answers in the comment box. Tomorrow, I'm going to come up with another question type for the reading, and that is sentence completion and summary completion. So please keep following the channel. Finally, if you have any kind of problem with any part of the video, please reach me out on Instagram, Malvika Educator, Facebook, Malvika J, or you can even mail me at this. Don't forget to share the Telegram group ID, guys, Malvika J English, because this is the very place I interact with you all through. Okay? Please remember, with as many people as you can, keep sharing the Telegram group ID. This is the place you're getting all your free materials, your documents, your questions, your answers, everything. So let more and more people join and have the benefit from it. Till then, guys, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep sharing the knowledge. Take care. Good night. Ta-da!